All right. So welcome everyone to the March 18th meeting of the Montachusett MPO. Brian, you want to read the roll, please?
Yep, we have Steve Wolfel from Mass DOT representing Secretary and CEO Phil Ing.
Here.
Ian Sullivan, Mass DOT Highway representing Jonathan Gulliver.
Here.
Mark Piamarini, Leominster.
Here.
Glenn Eaton, MRPC.
Here.
Abby Arpano, Subregion 2.
Here.
Glenn McLeod, Subregion 3.
Here.
And Brian Keating, Subregion 4.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have a quorum. If I see anyone else that comes in that's a voting member, I'll acknowledge them. And I do not see any ex officio members here. Also, Glenn Eaton, I know that you have another commitment. We will have a quorum if you do leave, just so you know.
Okay. Thanks, Brian. We'll try to get through stuff so you can before you have to go, Glenn. But all right. So next item on the agenda is agenda item 2, public comments. Are there members of the public would like to address the MPO today? All right. I don't see any. So move to agenda item 3, which is approval of February 18th, 2026 minutes. Can I get a motion, a second to approve, please?
So moved, Jen Sullivan.
Do a second.
Second, Mark Piamarini.
All right. Any changes or comments on the minutes? All right. Seeing none, Brian, you want to read the roll?
Steve Wolfel, Mass DOT.
Yes.
Ian Sullivan, Mass DOT Highway.
Yes.
Mark Piamarini, Leominster.
Yes.
Glenn Eaton, MRPC.
Yes.
Abby Arpano, Subregion 2.
Yes.
Glenn McLeod, Subregion 3.
Yes.
And Brian Keating, Subregion 4.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that, Brian. We'll now move on to agenda item 4, which is a few actions for federal fiscal year 2026 to 2030 tip. Take it away, Brian.
Yeah, okay, so we have 2 proposed actions today. The first is related to the amendment we sent out for public comment last month, amendment number 2. And then we have a new amendment to discuss and vote to send out for public comment. So we'll be discussing whether to endorse amendment 2, which you see here. Again, we sent this out for public comment last month. Comment period opened February 20th. It closed this past Friday, the 13th. Involved 2 projects in the highway side, just moving from 2026 to 2027. We detailed this last month. On the transit side, there were a number of changes. We went over this in detail last month. It's explained here on the summary. Basically, background on this is the transit side was a little bit overcommitted last year, so there needed to be a number of changes to remain within fiscal constraint. So a number of projects moved out totally of the tip. A number of projects moved back, and there were also some projects funded by existing funds. So again, this is detailed here. We detailed it last month. The comment period was for 21 days. We did not receive any comments during the comment period. We reviewed this with the JTC last week. Their recommendation and staff's recommendation is to endorse amendment number 2 today.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Anyone want to make a motion, second to endorse amendment number 2?
So moved, Jen Sullivan. Second, Abby Arpano.
All right. Any questions for Brian? All right. Seeing none. Brian, you want to read the roll?
Steve Wolfel, Mass DOT.
Yes.
Ian Sullivan, Mass DOT Highway.
Yes.
Mark Piamarini, Leominster.
Yes.
Glenn Eaton, MRPC.
Yes.
And now I see Michael Yaboa, Mart.
Yes.
Abby Arpano, Subregion 2.
Yes.
Glenn McLeod, Subregion 3.
Yes.
And Brian Keating, Subregion 4.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the second half of this is a new amendment we're proposing today. So this is proposed amendment number 3 for the 26 through 30 tip. This just involves one project on the highway side. What we're looking for is a motion to send this out for a public comment period today. We'll come back next month and endorse. So this deals with a project that goes across multiple regions, the Montachusett MPO region and the Boston MPO region. It's on Route 2, Harvard to Concord, guide and traffic sign replacement on Route 2. So originally, when this was initiated, the cost estimate was for 734,000. That's what's reflected in the tip as of right now. However, due to a number of reasons, there's a cost increase. The new number will be 1.845 million. So that's a variance of 1.1 million, just over that. And the reason for the cost increase is a number of things which are described here. The design, the scope of the project has expanded since 2021. Also, overall prices for aluminum and steel have increased. So, to fabricate the signs, the panels, the posts. So they've increased quite a bit since then. And also the lead times necessary for the project has been adjusted and it's expanded. So all these things lead to a cost increase. So again, this is the only change. We're not recommending changing years or anything like that. It's just a cost change. If the group does wish to send it out for public comment, that comment period, I'll open it. We'll send out the information and open it March 20th, this coming Friday, and close it April 10th. We'll come back in April at the MPO meeting and discuss on endorsing.
Anyone have any questions for Brian? Anyone want to make a motion and a second to send Amendment 3 out for public comment?
Make a motion, Mark Sullivan.
Second, Ann Sullivan.
All right, last call. Any questions for Brian? All right, Brian, can you read the roll?
Steve Wolf on Mass DOT.
Yes.
Ian Sullivan, Mass DOT Highway.
Yes.
Mark Pamarini, Leominster.
Yes.
Glenn Eaton, MRPC.
Yes.
Michael Yaboa, Mart.
Yes.
Abby Arpano, Subregion 2.
Yes.
Glenn McLeod, Subregion 3.
Yes.
And Brian Keating, Subregion 4.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brian. We'll now move on to agenda item 5, which is discussion of federal fiscal year 27 to 2031 tip. Brian, take it away.
All right. So this is an update from last month's update on more or less on the regional target section. So where the MPO has discretion over project placement. I mentioned last month, I'll mention again that the tip also includes a state priority section that's set by Mass DOT. We'll get a chance to review those projects next month. And also a transit section, which is prioritized by MART. Again, next month, we expect a full draft document for review. We'll be able to go over those projects at that point. But for the sake of this discussion, we're going to keep it on the target section, again, where we have discretion over project placement. So if you remember the update last month, basically we went over where we were in the process. Staff at that point had just received a number of cost increases. We were in the process of getting a number of design status increases. We're following up with communities, with project proponents, DOT, design consultants. But the basis of that discussion was the situation we're in right now is we've seen a large cost increase across the board. Few projects significantly, but really almost every project that got updated saw a significant increase. So the result of that is basically we're not within fiscal constraint. We need to stay within our annual budget on this 5-year program. And I presented the handout that you see right now last month. And the result of all these cost increases put us over. These are the projects as they are laid out right now, if we were not to change anything. In 2027, the effect of those cost increases, we were $9.7 million over budget. In 28, we were $15 million over. In 29, almost $5 million over. In 2030, we're under, and 2031 is the new year. Typically, under this development process, we'd be looking at these appendix projects to elevate them into the 5-year document. However, it seems like as we discussed last month, very unlikely that we'd be able to fund additional projects this year. So, the result of all these cost increases, we have a total 5-year budget of roughly $81 million and almost $95 million of projects already programmed. So we've been trying to figure out what to do with that. We've been continuing to get updates on project costs, on design statuses. There were a few projects that we had concerns about in terms of design status last month. We've kind of squared those situations. We've been in contact with a number of municipalities and their design consultants, districts 1 and 2, 2 and 3 of Mass DOT. So we've updated some of those statuses. We've tried to pursue some strategies that would mitigate the effects of this cost increase that we've seen. And today we have a scenario for consideration. So I think the intent today is to just go over some of the situation, update from last month, give you an idea of where we are at this point in the process, and get some indication from the group. Ultimately, the MPO and the MPO board is responsible for putting this together. We as staff have been in the background updating these projects and trying to figure out where things fit. So we're presenting this just to update everyone. If there's any feedback, either today or in the days or weeks that come, please reach out to me. If there's any suggestions, always willing to hear that. But really, today is just an update from last month where we're at. So our strategy has been basically to figure out which projects we can construct over multiple construction seasons, what's called advanced constructing. This helps flexibility a bit. It helps us kind of fit projects within budget when we assign them multiple years on the tip. Not every project is eligible, but we've been working closely with Mass DOT as well as Federal Highway to determine which ones would be eligible. The scenario that we present today, Federal Highway seems to believe that it would work. Another strategy we pursued is cost sharing on the state priority section. So these regional target projects are mostly projects initiated by our municipalities on municipal-owned, municipal jurisdiction roadways. There are a few that are on state jurisdiction roadways. In the case of this scenario, Mass DOT has agreed to list a few of our projects on their list, which kind of gets it off our books, makes this process a little bit easier, gives us a little bit more wiggle room, or closer to fiscal constraint, I should say. And another thing that we have done is we've had to move some projects back in this scenario, and unfortunately, one project off the list. So what you see here is mainly due to fiscal constraint. 3 projects moved back 1 year in this scenario. 2 projects moved back 2 years. 1 project drops off the list into the appendix of the tip. 5 projects are advanced constructed over multiple years, and 2 projects in this case will be covered under the state prioritized list and off the regional target list. So where this leaves us, every single project is affected in some way except for 1 which is listed in the same years that it saw last year. So I'll just go over year by year and kind of describe how things shook out the way they did. Again, this is preliminary. We still haven't developed a full draft yet. You'll get a chance to review that next month. So in 2027, we have Ashburnham Road Rehab at Route 101. This was previously listed in 2027. I mentioned last month there's a large cost increase. There was concern about the design. In the past weeks, we've gotten a number of updates. The town has indicated they have the resources to pursue all their obligations. They have been in contact with their design consultant. At this point, we do feel comfortable leaving it in 2027. In this case, it would be along with Harvard resurface and box widening on Air Road. This Harvard project is also listed in 2026. So this is just the remainder of that project in the first year of this 5-year cycle. You can see our balance in 2027 is zero, so we spend out the whole allotment. In 2028, currently we have two Athol projects, intersection improvements at 2A and Brookside Road, along with sidewalk installation on Templeton Road. These are on state jurisdiction roadways, so the state has agreed to list this on their on their state prioritized list, which is a relief to our budget. It's $10 million kind of off of our list in 2028. So these will still be listed, although in a different section of the improvement program. So the only two projects we do have in 28 are the second portion of that Ashburnham Route 101 project, along with the first portion of a reconstruction of John Fitch Highway in Fitchburg. Again, John Fitch Highway in Fitchburg saw a drastic cost increase, which we detailed last month. The state has also agreed to cover a small portion of this on state jurisdiction roads in this project. That leaves us in 2028 again with a balance of zero. We spent out the whole allotment, which is a good thing. We just can't be over. In 2029, the second portion of that Fitchburg John Fitch Highway project, and the remaining projects you'll see on this list are all shaded in a red and orange shade. These projects have all been moved back at least 1 year from their current spot. So in 2029, along with the second portion of that Fitchburg project, we have Clinton reconstruction of Sterling Street, which is Route 62. Currently, this is listed in 2027. Due to fiscal constraint, the earliest we can fit it in is in 2029. This is unfortunate. We've been in contact with the community. They've updated us on the design process. Just by virtue of not having room in the budget, these moves are necessary. Along with those projects in 29 is the Sterling intersection improvements at 140 and 62. Currently, this project in Sterling is in 2028. This scenario, we move it and split it between 29 and 30. Moving down to 2030, we have Templeton reconstruction of Route 68, a project which is currently scheduled in 29 and 30. This scenario shows it in 30 and 31, so it moves back 1 year. Also, an air road rehab on Route 2A and 111. Currently, this project is listed in 29. This scenario shows it split, advanced constructed between 2030 and 2031. Along with the second portion of the intersection improvements at 140 and 62 project in Sterling in 2030. The final year, 2031, the second portion of the Templeton reconstruction project, along with Winchton intersection improvements at Blair Square. This is currently listed in 2029. Unfortunately, we'll have to move it back, in this case, 2 years to 2031. And finally, the second portion of the road rehab project on 2A 111. Unfortunately, we did have to move a project currently listed off this list. As of right now, we have Westminster Roundabout construction, Route 2A and Barthwick Road, listed in federal fiscal year 2030. It's a $4 million project. We don't have $4 million in our budget. This was kind of the last one out. We've discussed this with DOT, Mass DOT, the possibility of cost sharing. A portion of it is on a state jurisdiction roadway. Still trying to figure out the possibilities at this point. There are some concerns with the design status. It is a candidate to move back anyways. So this scenario shows it in the appendix, and all these projects will be reconsidered next year. Anything can happen. Design status changes. Typically the cost just goes up, but anything can happen. So again, what we tried to do was, first off, we needed to stay within fiscal constraint. Second off, we really tried to do everything we could to maintain the schedule with these projects as they're currently listed. Unfortunately, it just wasn't possible. We feel like this scenario mitigates some of those cost effects. Obviously, it's not a perfect situation, but we've been in contact with All the communities that have been affected by seeing their project move back. We've gotten a number of updates on some of these projects with concerns. We feel comfortable with this list as presented right now. And again, I think the point of this presentation is just to bring you up to speed. Ultimately, the MPO board's the decision makers on these, and to give a chance to provide us any feedback. If there is no feedback, I think that we would probably develop a list like this, if not this exact same list, something similar in the coming weeks into a draft document, which we'll then again review next month at the meeting. So if there's any questions, I can try to answer those, or please reach out to me at any point.
Thanks, Brian. Are there questions for Brian right now? All right. So just to reiterate, we're going to talk about this more next month. So if there's any questions on the interim, please reach out to Brian as we work to try to get a financially constrained tip for the 27 to 31. All right. Thanks, Brian. We'll move on to the next agenda item, which is agenda item 6, the federal fiscal year 27 UPWP. I believe this is going to be Sherry, correct?
Yeah.
Sherry, take it away.
All right, thank you. I know we have a couple slides, Brian. Let's see. All right, so the Unified Planning Work Program is developed each year by all the MPOs in order to program their planning work and align with our state and federal obligations. So this is what we will be going through the next fiscal year, starting on October 1st, 2026, and goes through September 30th, 27. So this is a draft of our tasks that we have put together. They're broken down into 4 separate elements. So just to go over that briefly, element 1 provides like the management of our transportation program. It also allows us to produce our required documents, such as the UPWP that we're talking about today, and then the tip that Brian just discussed. Element 2 is kind of like our data task. It has our demographics, our GIS related work, our traffic count program, pavement management, performance measures. All of those fall within this section. We also included our regional bike and ped plan update here, so we can update and collect data regarding multimodal transportation as well. Element 3 is where like our specific projects are. So local technical assistance is a new task. It's kind of one we just created. I should also mention that everything highlighted in yellow are relatively new tasks for this coming year. So the local technical assistance task is one that will allow us to have some flexibility in requests that come in through our program year, like from specific communities, if they have like a traffic count to do or a little extra, something data gathering that they need, that we can kind of fit that in and give us some flexibility with that, because that does come up quite a bit. The safety planning is another program that we do each year, but because the work can be extensive, we gave it its own task number. This will allow us to continue our Safe Streets for All efforts. And then last but not least is the regional transportation plan update. This is going to be a huge one. We really start to dig into the document during this time with our public outreach, data gathering, and preparing the document itself. Element 4 is where a lot of our transit work takes place. So we have our long range mobility planning task. This will include a lot of work for the transit data for the RTP, our future of mobility task, which is a continuation of work that's being done regarding the Regional Coordinating Council and the Transportation Management Association. The technical assistance to MART is to coordinate any specific transit projects, data gathering, GIS work, any additional transit work and tasks that come up throughout the year. And the regional micro mobility planning task. This one is to assist MART with researching the possibility of developing a bike and/or scooter share program in the area of Fitchburg State University and the intermodal in downtown Fitchburg. So the next page shows how many community-specific projects we have within the UPWP that have been done for each town over the last 5 years. So the communities highlighted in yellow have had 0 UPWP tasks, but that doesn't include regional tasks. So work is still being done in these communities, but not specific to just that community. So we do our best to accommodate any community requests that come in, but we want to make sure we're doing it in an equitable way. So the communities that have 0, we might prioritize over some of the others that might have had a lot more work being done. Next page shows all of our community requests that came in for this year. I categorized them, so everything in blue are like bike ped type related projects. And those tasks, we do hope to be able to assist those communities within our current year trail inventory task, as well as the regional bike and ped plan update, which is on the 27 UPWP currently. And then the lime green tasks are more like technical assistance, intersection related or corridor related studies. So this we hope to incorporate into that local technical assistance task, so we can do 1 to 2 locations for each community and do some basic data gathering, overall analysis of intersections, just to give them a head start to, pursue any design or anything like that they want to move forward. The regional, the transit task, which was mentioned as the transit corridor analysis. So that's to, we'll build upon the future of mobility task, which is 4.2, where we expand to accommodate the request here. So we did, and then the Templeton Bridge inquiry, this doesn't actually qualify under the UPWP because they were looking for potential funding to help with bridge rehab in the town. So we did give them a couple of other suggestions that they might be able to find some funding for that. So we did try to accommodate as many communities and requests as possible, whether we incorporate it into new community tasks specific or looped it into existing tasks that we had. And then, so for our next MPO meeting in April, I'm hoping to present the table of contents for the document, maybe some more info on the newer tasks or the special projects that we have coming up, and then some budgeting if we received all the final numbers in time for that. And then we hope to have it endorsed. I think we were thinking May, right? May. To be a little bit after.
Yeah, May or June. We were originally going to follow the same schedule as the tip, but we're still waiting from some numbers from Federal Transit Administration and things like that. So maybe next month, maybe May, we'll be sending out for public comment.
That is all I have for today. If anyone has questions.
All right, anyone have any questions for Sherry? I don't see any. Thanks, Sherry. Good job.
Thanks.
We will now move to the updates. The first ones are from the Highway Division. Ann, you want to go first?
Sure. Okay, in 2026, Harvard resurfacing and box widening on Air Road. That's project 609213. That is at PS&E. The town is working on the right-of-way. Harvard Lancaster Bridge replacement, Jackson Road over Nashua River, 612883. That's at 75%. The 100% are due in June. There's no right-of-way associated with that project. The Fitchburg Memorial Middle School Safe Routes to School project, 612895. That is at 25%. The virtual DPH is scheduled for March 25th. 75% are then due in May. The Twin Cities rail trail construction in Fitchburg is an advanced construction project from last year. And then just to touch on 27, Harvard would be a seed, the Harvard Air Road, Ashburn Route 101, 609-244. That is the 100%. It's at 75%. The 100% are due at the end of June. The Clinton Sterling Street Route 62 project, 610681, is at 25. We still need to schedule a DPH for that. The Fitchburg Ashby resurfacing on Route 31, 612110, that is at 75%. The virtual design public hearing is scheduled for March 19th, and the 100% / PS&E is due in November. Leominster Lancaster Route 2 resurfacing, 612659, that is at a pre-25% stage still. That's a book job, so we typically can get those done pretty quickly. And then the Gardner bike path, North Central Pathway bridge over Route 140, 609108, that is at 75%, and the 100% are due in April.
All right, any questions for Ann? All right, thank you, Ann. I believe I saw Daryl. Daryl, why don't you go ahead?
Good morning. So first in 2027, we've got project 612151. This is the Athol Bridge Replacement, Route 2A, Main Street over the G&W Railroad. This is currently at 25%. Bridge type selection worksheet, resub 3 was received back in November. Reviews were completed then. The 25% design submission was just received on the 12th of March, and the review period closes on April 15th. And I'm looking forward to that. Next, we have this project 608415. This is Athol intersection improvements at Route 2A at Brookside Road. This is design status is at 25%. Utility site walks were completed in November. Right-of-way review comments were completed in January. Bridge type selection worksheet revised 2 and geotech report were completed on February 17th. And we currently have a virtual design public hearing date of 3/24, which is next week. And we have the flyer for that'll be provided as well. Next, we have project 613141, Athol Orange Bridge Replacement, Logan Road over the east branch of the Tully River. This is at pre-25% stage. Revised wetland delineation was received back in August. Review comments were completed late August, and a 25% submission is due on June 8th this year. That's all I have for now.
All right, anyone have any questions for Daryl? All right, thank you, Daryl.
Thank you.
Next update is from Transit/Mart. Anything from Mart?
Yes. Okay, so currently Matt has been awarded a microtransit grants for which was a collaboration between the MPO, the TMA group, NMC Rise and Mart, $300,000 for transportation of students and the general public to and from Gardner, from the Montachusett Community College at Leominster, and also areas within our ITC to and from Gardner. And also the RTAs, 14 RTAs have been awarded about 3 million, which Matt is part of the group, and we are yet to decide on the portion and how these dollars will be distributed amongst the various RTAs for our various towns within our regions. And with that, we also have a new grant for Ashburnham Winchendon Microtransit, which is a different model Matt is trying to use. Previously, our microtransit grants we've given to third-party vendors to fulfill this rise, and they have been successful. And even looking at the cost per ride for these microtransits, we do a cost share of $15, but looking at the ridership for various towns, that increases the cost of the grants, and even the current grants we are having is running out of funds because of the increasing number of rides for various residents. So with the new Winchendon and Ashburnham grants, we are trying a different model, working with the community to try to use their drivers. So instead of the money is going into the vendors, would go towards salaries. And we also with the new one for the NMC ride, we would see how we can test a different model to make it more sustainable compared to our current version. Even though the current version is successful, the increase in ridership tends to draw away the funds. And this week we started operating Leominster High School cutaway bus service, which takes students from Monument Square to the high school for during the AM times and the PM times as part of our Route 8 service. And Matt has also completed a certification process for our APCs. So all our fixed route buses, passengers who gets on and off gets counted, and this contributes to our general data lake. And previously we've had Passio, but for the past 2 months, we went through the APC certification process, and Matt has been certified for our bus and our general transit system to as a reliable data collection tool of on and off boarding and offboarding of passengers within our system. So yeah, that is the updates on the transit side. Any questions?
Any questions for Michael? Yes, Brian.
Hi, yeah, Brian Keating from Lancaster. I think I brought this up to Brian last month, but then I didn't follow up. But Michael, there we were notified that the transit stop in Lancaster, we have one up on Old Union Turnpike by the D'Ambrosio Eye Care. Do you have any information available about that? And I guess we're trying to determine how that's going to impact any Lancaster residents.
So the D'Ambrosio stop at previously it was on our Route 9 as part of our fixed route on Route 9, but during our service change, the Fitchburg and Leominster service change in December, we took that stop off the routes because it was adding extra times, and the riders per month was about taking for the entire day per day was about one per less than the threshold for a stop on the fixed routes, and also reducing the times traveled for the general routes. That might affect that actually affected the D'Ambrosio stop. We go by the area, but we don't do a drop off at the D'Ambrosio clinic currently for the new fixed routes. And I, I'm not sure the other aspects of the D'Ambrosio, but generally, Lancaster is serviced by our current microtransit service, which we are running out of funds. And I think we shared the message to the various towns that we were closing in 15th of March, but internally we are trying to address and extend the closure of this grant. So currently, Lancaster uses our microtransit grants, but our fixed routes we don't go by the D'Ambrosio stop in Lancaster. And I think we messaged the town, so we are still internally trying to figure a way to provide service to our various towns on the microtransit side. And also, currently with the funds available, we have actually run out of funds for the grants, but we are trying to see how we can still fulfill these rights for Lancaster.
Okay, so if I can recapture what you were saying. So the ridership wasn't up to the point, up to the extent that it was feasible. Is that correct?
Yes, for the fixed route
Okay,
for the
and
fixed route. Yeah,
so
that is Route 9.
so we don't know, is there any way to were there Lancaster residents using it? I'm not sure if you tracked that information at all. And those who were using it, are they being notified in terms of what their what their alternatives are, what their other options are?
So with the stop on the Route 9, it's generally a Leominster route, but the D'Ambrosio Clinic is the Lancaster stop on the route. So we open it up for public comments and public meeting in the month of October. We open the 1 month public comments period for taking off that stop. And that was not the only stop that was taken off that particular route. We took off the RMV, and also the D'Ambrosio also got affected during that change on the Route 9.
Okay, so there was a comment period.
Yes.
Okay, and then but people who were using that can go up to the RMV in Leominster. Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was trying to say that that stop, including the RMV, were
Oh, that was eliminated
yeah,
too. Okay.
as well. So that wasn't the only affected stop on that particular route. So and currently that route is about every 25 headway after taking these stops, and the ridership has been on the positive side. But during the public comments period, we didn't receive any feedback
Okay.
on the elimination.
Okay, but it's basically funding related. It's all about the money, right? It just was
One is funding related, the other is ridership related. The fixed route is ridership related, and the microtransit service currently is funding related.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions for Michael? All right, thank you, Michael. The next
You're welcome.
update's from JTC. Brian?
Yep, JTC met last week as we typically do a week before the MPO. We've been reviewing the same information on the tip and the UPWP. I mentioned they provided feedback on the amendment. We'll do the same next month with that group. The next meeting is April 8th at 2:30. On behalf of Mass DOT, we just have a few handouts on design public hearings in our region. Here's one for the Athol Brookside Road and 2A project. There's a link here for the design public hearing that will be held March 24th at 6:30 p.m. Also, Fitchburg Memorial Middle School Safe Routes to School. This project, the design public hearing, is March 25th at 6:30. Again, the information in the link is available on the handout. And finally, design public hearing for the Fitchburg Ashby Route 31 project tomorrow night, March 19th at 6:30. That's all I have for the JTC, but I can provide an update on the MRPC. It's just this updated grant opportunity list. This was updated in March, so the latest information, latest links are on here. Again, this is put together by our planning and development department. So any questions, reach out to Bernie Cahill, who's the director of that department. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, Brian. Any questions for Brian? All right, I think we're on our next agenda item, which is agenda item 8, administrative matters, which our next MPO meeting is same time as usual, right, Brian? April 15th at 1 p.m.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll send out the information and likely a full draft document of at least the tip, possibly also the UPWP, based on our conversation today, before the meeting next week.
All right. So as I always say around this time, please try to make sure you can make it to meetings because we're taking up the 3C documents and we need to move them along. So stay tuned. With that, we'll move on to the last agenda item, which is adjournment. Can I get a motion second to adjourn, please?
I make a motion to adjourn, Mark Cameron.
Second, Eaton.
All right. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
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 All right. Thanks, everybody. We got through a lot today. Good presentations. Everyone be safe and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.